Wow. A lot of emotion. There's a lot of emotion in this room. Thank you. So the really nice thing is we have lines, and I want to thank Chase and I want to thank Alan.
He calls it emotion, but most people call it booing. What's unclear is whether the crowd at SneakerCon was booing Trump or his gold sneakers that he was selling for $399. But either way, the timing of his latest money grab was noticeable.
As a self-affirmed sneakerhead myself, I can tell you that if Kanye West and Michael Jordan had a baby, they could still not sell enough sneakers to try and overcome the debt that Donald Trump has amassed in this situation. He has put himself in a situation where his liquid status is absolutely going to be depleted, and he's likely going to have to liquidate some of his assets. And we all know that Donald Trump very much so values all of his toys being his properties in different jurisdictions. And so what is likely going to happen is he's going to try to exhaust every means possible, number one, to stave off having to satisfy these judgments. But even in the case of an appeal, you still have to have some of this in escrow sitting so that if you lose the appeal, you have to pay up immediately. So he's not going to be able to avoid payment from that purpose or in that vein for very long.
Charles Coleman on MSNBC figured that the math won't work out for $399 sneakers to make up for the nearly $450 million that he's been ordered to pay between his inflated assets case and the E. Jean Carroll sexual assault judgments against him. What Charles didn't mention, though, is that Trump World already has plans B and C ready for as many suckers as they can find.
Just minutes after this decision came down, Donald Trump sent out a fundraising text to his supporters that read he's calling on 1 million pro-Trump patriots to pitch in and donate to him. This mirrors exactly what he did just a few weeks ago when the decision came down in the E. Jean Carroll trial that he would owe $83.3 million there. So in total, he's looking at legal fees that are skyrocketing above $440 million. That is an astounding figure. So really, that's the hurdle that Donald Trump has to deal with when it comes to these trials. This is not something that the voters are particularly impacted by, at least his voters are particularly impacted by, but it is the fundraising that is the issue.
They figure we've fleeced these supporters for years, so why would we stop now when we have them believing that one guy being indicted and losing in court over and over again all across the country is so innocent that the entire legal system is working solely against him?
It absolutely fuels his base and giving him money just immediately. We know from the mugshot over the summer that was one of the largest fundraising days that Donald Trump has ever had. That was, of course, related to the Georgia Fulton County election interference case that is also ongoing there. When he was booked and he had his mugshot photo taken, they were fundraising off of that, and he raised multiple millions of dollars in that case. And I suspect we're going to see the same thing here with E. Jean Carroll and as it relates to the New York civil fraud trial going forward.
So since they bought that in the past, a GoFundMe has also been started. That's apparently already raised nearly $500,000. But I doubt that the money being raised over there doesn't violate the terms of service in some way. It's all just an embarrassing money-grabbing fiasco, where the guy was booed as soon as he and his shoes were mentioned. I mean, there was a lot of emotion at the unveiling, but it was only over at Fox News.
They're dope.
Yeah, very smart. Look, the website says this is not political, has nothing to do with any political campaign. That being said, what a contrast. You know, Trump's out there being creative and nimble, and Biden's what, in the basement?